Did you hear about President Biden's $2 trillion infrastructure plan? Want to get your hands on a little bit of that cash? Would you like to know of 3 dividend growth stocks that are set to benefit from this plan? Then you have to check out today's video.
He is a best-selling author.
30-year-old Jason Fieber has a plan.
This guy retired at only 33 years old.
I don't know if I know too many people that have accomplished something like that.
He's really kind of a guru when it comes to passive income.
Before I get into today's content, please give us a big thumbs up if you find value in our videos. Helps us to get the word out and grow the channel, and I'd really appreciate it. US President Joe Biden just unveiled a $2 trillion infrastructure plan. It's a very broad plan, impacting everything from housing to roads to technology. And while it'll likely change somewhat before it's ultimately passed, we're talking about a lot of money here. No matter how the cookie ultimately crumbles, many companies are going to benefit from this plan. And that is where investors like us have an opportunity. I want to share with you 3 dividend growth stocks that could directly benefit from this plan. I picked these stocks for 3 different reasons. First, they're all dividend growth stocks. As you viewers already know, I only make videos on and personally invest in high quality dividend growth stocks. These are stocks that pay reliable rising dividends because they're earning reliable rising profits. If you can't afford to pay a growing dividend or aren't willing to share with me my fair share of growing profits, I'm not interested. Second, these are wonderful businesses that will do well with or without the infrastructure plan. That's right, these businesses are doing great already, and they'll continue to do well on their own volition. But they should see a nice boost from this infrastructure plan. Nothing wrong with a little extra icing on an already delicious cake. Third, each business is very different and should benefit from a different part of the infrastructure plan. Want to know which 3 stocks I'm talking about? Let's dig in. The first stock I want to bring to your attention is Caterpillar Inc., stock ticker CAT. Caterpillar has been doing great, is doing great, and will continue to do great. That's with or without more infrastructure spending, but with a major part of Biden's plan allocating spending to the improvement of traditional infrastructure, things like roads and bridges, that infrastructure only gets built with the help of big machinery. And Caterpillar is a world-class machinery business. By the way, those big machines cost big money. Caterpillar took in more than $4 billion in free cash flow last fiscal year. With $2 trillion about to rain down, that free cash flow likely goes up. You know what else is going up? Caterpillar's dividend. They've increased their dividend for 27 consecutive years with a 10-year dividend growth rate of 9.1%. That growth makes up for some of the low yield, which is now below 2%. The only bummer about Caterpillar stock, it's gotten expensive. It's doubled over the last year, no doubt fueled by the anticipation of increased infrastructure spending. And the valuation with a price to cash flow ratio of 20 looks rich, but Caterpillar is a long-term winner for sure, with or without Biden's plan. The second stock I want to tell you about is Albemarle Corporation, stock ticker ALB. This company surprisingly flies a bit under the radar, but I'd argue it shouldn't. It has a very solid set of legacy chemicals and catalyst businesses that help propel it to dividend aristocrat status with 27 consecutive years of dividend increases. That's exciting in and of itself, but I'll tell you what's really exciting here. After acquiring Rockwood Holdings in 2014, Albemarle became one of the world's largest lithium producers. With Biden's plan specifically calling for additional infrastructure around electric vehicles and green energy, that translates to more batteries, and those batteries require, you guessed it, lithium. With or without Biden's infrastructure plan, the world is moving toward EVs. And Albemarle will almost surely benefit from that. It's just that Biden is trying to aid and accelerate this transition, which should aid and accelerate Albemarle's profit and dividend growth. This stock at under $150 is well off of its recent high of almost $190. The valuation has become much more reasonable. With a yield of only 1%, it's not an income play. This is instead a long-term compounder. The stock would have turned $1,000 invested 10 years ago into almost $3,000 today. Last but not least, let's talk about Broadcom Inc., stock ticker AVGO. A semiconductor company? Infrastructure? Huh? Hear me out. Biden's plan allocates $50 billion for investment in semiconductor manufacturing and research. When you have billions of dollars sloshing around and headed towards semis, the main players will no doubt benefit from this. But here's the thing. Broadcom has been hitting it out of the park. Their free cash flow is up almost 20 times over the last decade. If some extra spending gives them a boost, all the better. We're talking about a business that's already set to profit tremendously from the 5G megatrend. If they get a little extra love, that's all the more reason to own this name. Broadcom is one of the very best semiconductor businesses out there, and it's a direct way to play 5G. We put together a video analysis and valuation video back in July highlighting how attractive this stock was at $300. It's now climbing toward $500 a share, so it's not as cheap as when I brought it to your attention last year. But this stock sports 11 consecutive years of dividend increases, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 52.1%, and a yield of 3.1%. I called it a dream stock in July, and I think it still is. Look for any opportunity to snag this fantastic dividend growth stock for your own portfolio and plan on holding it for many years. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Give us a like if you did, and let us know in the comments what you think about these 3 dividend growth stocks. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so that you don't miss out on new content. Also take a look at the description box below for some important links, including the link to my personal stock portfolio. This 6-figure portfolio, which I call the Fire Fund, generates enough passive dividend income for me to live off of. It'll allow me to retire in my early 30s. I've made my portfolio entirely accessible over a Patreon, and I also post alerts there whenever I buy or sell a stock. I put my money where my mouth is, and I'm often invested in the same high-quality dividend growth stocks that I make videos on. Over the years, I've heard from thousands of investors who've been profiting from many of the same exact stocks that I own. So if you think this is something that you could benefit from as well, check the link in the description to see my portfolio and start getting my buy and sell alerts. I'll see you next time.